It's about the two brands amplifying the sustainable story. I think that's the only way we can make it work. But I think over the next couple of years, you're definitely going to see. I mean, we've already seen quite a few collaborations between fashion brands. You had Karl Lagerfeld and Kenneth Eze. I did one with Gabrielle Union. They're definitely coming up. So I think it's a really exciting time for Nigerian designers, and I think the sustainable story is definitely going to be amplified.
All right, so please, if you have a question, start preparing your question. After this next question, I'm going to be opening the floor for you to ask your question. So please, if you have a question, can you indicate? Okay, fantastic. I'll come back to you. If we have more people who want to ask questions, please prepare your questions, because I'll be taking them after this question. All right, so Venita, this can be answered by either Venita or Modikwe. What role do you think technology will play in advancing sustainable practices, and how? I mean, I know we've touched on it before, but I want us. Oh, you were the one who talked about, digital. You mentioned digital, so I think you should be the one to answer the question. So, can you touch more on that aspect? What ways do you think that what roles do you think that technology can play, and how can we amplify this? You need help.
Assist me, join
Okay.
in.
I think one of the ways that we can be sustainable is even from the creative process. So now I do more of my illustrations digitally, and I'm able to get maybe fabric samples or fabric pictures from vendors, or I get online inspirations, and instead of me having to buy like a yard or buy samples of fabrics, I can just superimpose them. I can take a picture of it and superimpose it into my designs. So in that way, I've cut down like cost of transport, cost of clothes, cost of paper, a lot of things that go into that process have drastically, I guess, reduced. I guess I use a lot of AI now in like drafting emails and creating responses, even creating prompts for social media. We use that a lot, and that has saved us so much time on even our data that we use, on doing research and speaking to people. That has reduced a lot of time. I think a lot of things that we don't think about one of the things that we don't think about as a non-sustainable resource is time. You don't get back time. Once you spend it, it's gone. So one of the ways that we can actually redeem time is to find ways to work smarter as opposed to working harder. So we can use AI to help us to redeem our most non-sustainable assets, which is the time that we have.
And just to add gently, I mean, thank you. That was a brilliant answer. But yes, the more developed, the more knowledge we have, and just better equipment, you'll be able to do these things. You will not have to cut your fabric with your hand anymore. You can go and have it laser cut. Laser cut will cut you multiple pieces at one time. You can go and have your pattern. Patterns used to take me, oh my gosh, I will sit there and be cracking my head. You already know about this. Now there's, pattern drawers, they'll do that all digital for you. So it's just the development, technology really, really helps in cutting down a lot of laborious, arduous bits. And then AI, now there's I found like a list of like 70 other apps that can do everything right from start the design all the way right down to, your mailing list and your customer client list. And it's just utilizing these things. I'm a bit of a slow, my time, we were doing everything by hand, but I want to encourage everybody to use technology to get to where you want to. If you think something is impossible, it isn't. Go online, find out how, and you'll be able to do it, definitely.
Nothing is impossible right now. Go online, do your research, and, work smarter, not harder. Thank you so much for that. All right, so we'll be taking questions now. Yeah, please. Can I have an usher, please help with a mic? Please, can you come forward? Thank you. If you have a question, or I could just hand my mic over. Do we have a mic, or should I hand my mic over? Okay. Okay, we'll be taking just 3 questions. The first 3 people to get here. 1, 2, the third person. Thank you. She's like, you take my question. You can come. Come and ask your question. Oh, we have 4 people already. Yeah. Oh, sorry. All right.
Okay, I have two questions. Is that okay?
One question, please. Pick the most important question and direct your question to whoever you want to answer your question.
Okay. Okay, I think I'll do it to Banker. Are there particular international sustainable practices that Nigerian fashion industry can adapt to fit the local context, and how?
I think most sustainable practices are actually global because we're trying to protect the world in total, not just Nigeria. But things I know that they're very conscious abroad is stuff like your global footprint. So that's not just you as an individual traveling. That's like, for example, if you make a garment and your fabric is from China, your buttons are from Australia, and that's a lot of like global footprints. That's a lot of traveling. So we're trying to minimize that because obviously the planes they emit a lot of toxic fumes. So you try and get everything you can locally. So that's something that we can think about more, and that would actually improve the fashion industry. So instead of trying to buy all our buttons from Australia, maybe we can find ways to actually produce them here. So you're minimizing your global footprint. Yeah.
Same question. But if we start to produce our buttons here, I think it will cost, I don't know, more global in terms of the carbon footprint than just say.
If we start to manufacture our buttons here,
Yeah.
well, if we're manufacturing our buttons here, then the global footprints will reduce. Because it's not just your global footprint, it's the other thousands of designers who are ordering. Imagine how many flights that will take to bring them in. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, ladies. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Okay, I acknowledge and commend the efforts that your respective brands are making towards, a more sustainable fashion industry. However, my concern is for small scale and medium business enterprises, the digital divide that have no access to the internet and do not know what these sustainable practices are. Take for instance the Ginika in Ikotun, that's a tailor, the roadside tailor that will just sweep his materials to the gutter nearby, and all of that. So how do we bridge the gap? How do we sensitize, these people on these practices so that we have an ecosystem of respective fashion designers that are practicing these sustainable measures and, making the world a better place?
Can I go? It's for the house. Oh no, she had rules. Follow her rules.
So direct your question to.
All right, Venita then.
Okay, well, I really like the fact that you mentioned that, yes, there are people who don't have access to laptops and, just a lot of access to the current digital age. But there are so many ways. If you actually go to the borders, like you can get like the best dyes outside of town if you just take a trip. I'm friends with a lot of people in creative industries, so I think there is always the grassroots. Like, for example, there's a course that is offered at Nikkei Art Gallery. There's one that she does. I've been there. She's very welcoming, very warming, and you can learn how to do these other things there. But I think the best way that we can get this across is to now have what, Banker said, which is storytellers. So I'm a certain type of storyteller. You may decide tomorrow you want to be this type of storyteller. You want to be a sustainable storyteller. You might decide once a month you're going to go and find an artisan or an engineer or somebody that is recycling or being innovative with something, and you might shoot content around that. You have a voice. So I'm going to challenge you to use your voice and become one of the people who tells a story and gets that message of sustainable energy across. Can you do that? All right.
So Venita is basically saying instead of you asking how do we, you should go and do it. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My question is directly to Venita. So you spoke about collaboration, and Benita said something very instructive about fashion not just being about clothing, it's storytelling. So I want to ask, what's your thought process after making your outfits and having to decide on who are the people who are going to showcase this style or this clothing to the world? What's the thought process behind them? How do you select the best people for your brand?
Okay, so my brand is not up to 2 years old, it's a year old. And I initially began the unicorn effect because that is the name of my fan base. They are known as the unicorns. Shout out to my mafia. Um, so every being online, I'm quite interactive. I do my best. And I learned there were a lot of things about my journey in entertainment, especially on reality TV, that a lot of people felt connected to. So initially, this was what I wanted to get across. I wanted, we have graphics that have me on a unicorn and different kind of things and whatnot. But I want my brand to go past being a fad and a moment. So now I have to come up with a sustainable idea. But I had always informed them that the story is gonna change. At the shoot film first, we're gonna wait till they come. Do you understand? It's just very important to do things in your own way and your own time. There are brands that have, I'm sure Banker's first season is quite different to the season that she has now. So it's okay to develop. It's okay to do that at your own pace. Yeah? You have more to your question? Okay.
So you said it's okay to develop, it's okay for you to change over time. How do you deal with that? Because when it comes to storytelling, people always put people in a box, especially when you create. So how do you not stay in a box? How do you stay true to yourself, regardless of whatever you hear on the side, even within your own industry?
To be honest, your spirit has to be strong. Your spirit has to be strong. Oh. It doesn't even matter if your mind is strong. It doesn't matter if you're physically strong. There's going to come times that you have that weakness. But you have to have something in you that believes I am the best human, I'm the best designer, I'm the best athlete in this room. It doesn't matter. And you need to just hold on to that. In this place, they will bash and boast you. My dear, hold on to yourself, because when the chips go down, you are what you have. Yes, it's your mind that will still figure out how to solve a problem. It's your hands that are still going to fashion and design pieces and create concepts. You're still going to send that, whether it's by drawing, whether it's by email, whether you are dying, in an indigenous village somewhere, or you're online, you're still going to do it. So trust you more than anything. I have been put in so many boxes, honey, from the beginning, from Vixen to this. My current boxes, I think it's Mean Girl now, their own. That's their own. But the ability to keep changing, I don't listen to them more. I continue to push forward and do what I want, my own time, my own way. And guess what? The world is still watching. The world is still watching. I've been in industry for about 13, 14 years now. And I have continued to transform, and I still will. That's what tells a good story. That's a good storyteller, and you are responsible for telling your own story the way you want to.
Never forget that you are responsible for telling your story the way you want. Thank you so much. Now, before I let you go, I want to, ask one final question, right? I want us to describe the Nigerian fashion industry that we see in the next, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. What Nigerian fashion industry do you see regarding, sustainability and, innovation? What do you see? I want everyone to answer that question, actually. Just very short and simple. Who wants to go first? Banke.
So I start, okay. I see an industry that is, I feel the Nigerian fashion industry is really going to focus on manufacturing, and we're trying to create, and I've been in several rooms where we've been talking about really building this manufacturing sector of fashion, because that's really what the fashion industry is about, and we lack that. A parallel industry where you can there are places you can print, there are places you can, you find woven fabrics. We're investing in farmers. We're investing farmers that grow cotton and linen and different things like that. We're investing in production. And I really believe, it's already happening. And in 5 to 7 years, if we keep focused, it could be a really big thing. Because Nigeria used to be the biggest cotton grower. We used to be the biggest cotton producers in the world. And things kind of just fell off, and now it's Egypt and other places. But I really believe that can come back to us.
Thank you so much for that. Michelle.
For me, I'll just keep it short. I see Nigerian fashion industry completely refined. Yeah. We're completely going places. It's mind-blowing. So I see, especially with the government also, I still emphasize on this because in terms of knowledge and all of that, the government has a lot of role to play.
Yeah.
Right? So, but I mean, we can see, especially with the xylophone thing that they banned, they could see that it was creating a lot of toxic environment with the oceans and dump sites and everything. So I believe that they would also enforce, the ban of toxic materials from coming into our country. So yeah, I think there'll be a lot of growth in terms of sustainability. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Okay, I see Nigeria becoming a fashion central, like fashion central. I see a lot of collaborations in the future with international brands. I see Adire becoming like a statement fabric that a lot more people are going to wear. And not just Adire, but other indigenous fabrics like Ashoke. I see that a lot of people are making amazing things, bags, coats, furniture. So I see a lot of ingenuity that is going to come from our natural Nigerian products. I see us exporting a lot more because a lot of people are going to start seeking for our expertise in some of the garments that we produce, some of the bags, even the leather, in our leather industry. I see us revamping in that. I see a lot of wonderful brands doing great things, and I see them stocking in major department stores such as, Harrods, and Neiman Marcus. I see a lot more Nigerian brands in those places. So I agree with Ms. Koko. There's going to be a lot more manufacturing happening here and a lot of exports. And there's a lot that the government has to play in providing funding for SMEs. Because if you give us access to grants, if you give us access to tax rebates, if you even fix the roads and ensure that we have stable lights, a lot of people are able to afford their expansions by themselves.
Yeah.
If banks give you more favorable loans and give you more time to pay, you'll be surprised as to what the Nigerian designers can do. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Finally, Venita.
I thought I escaped. Well, I'll keep mine lighthearted. I think all the ladies have punched on the main points. But yes, more brand collaborations in the future, international collaborations. It means that actually more of the creative industry here has to comply with international sustainable laws and practices. So people, if you don't want to be conditioned by the government here, you're definitely going to have to pass some kind of grade or quality check at some level with an international brand that you're collaborating with. I think African fashion, especially Nigerian fashion, is going to have its Afrobeat phase with the world. I think we're going to have a honeymoon phase. I definitely think there's going to be a Ways of fashion and a David of fashion and a Burner of fashion. I definitely see that happening because, if you look around prom time online, a lot of them are ordering from brands that are like over here. Do you understand? Resort wear. A lot of the stuff kind of mimics and picks elements of like stuff that we have here, and they wish they could get it, but they can't get it fast enough because obviously dependable systems. But somebody will get it done. A brand will blow, and they will install their own factory, and they will create more jobs, and 7 to 8. Don't even be like a digital Zoom network where you can order from there and it'll be wide. So I think this is the beginning of the courtship of Nigerian fashion in the world. But they're going to definitely get into a very deep, committed relationship. So I'm looking forward to that.
I'm definitely looking forward to that as well. So I hear manufacturing, I hear collaborations, I hear fashion central, I hear international relationships, and it is so beautiful to hear. I look forward to, all of these things. Thank you so much. I'm going to definitely leave us with these words. True innovation in fashion is not just about creating something new. It's about creating something better for the people, something better for the planet, and of course, something better for the future. My name remains Ebonluwa Dosuman. It's been such a pleasure and a delight moderating this session. I hope you had a great time. Thank you so much for being a fantastic audience, and I think that the applause can be louder than that if you enjoyed yourself. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Before you go,
we need to have a picture, please.
Group picture,
like
please.
a group picture. Thank
Please,
you
a
so
round
much.
of applause.
Wow, this
as
is
well for your moderator as
amazing.
well.
Fantastic.
Our
Nice to meet
fashionable crew.
you. Please, we can come together. Exactly.
MC Relax,
Don't worry, I like staying amidst my mama. Okay, I would like to announce that we have something special for you.
Yes, we do.
That is not yet here or that we cannot move into this place. I mean, we're giving everybody, our panelists, 2024, a brand new 2024
Rolls Royce.
Mercedes Benz key holder. Please, can you hear me? So, can you show it to the screen?
So we have these actually illustrated after
Yes,
each
thank
and
you
every
so
one
much.
of you.
Yes. Oh, yeah, this illustrated.
No, it's right here.
Right behind you.
Right
They are
behind
very
you.
big. Oh, my God.
That's Michelle. Benita, you passed already. That's Banket Cuckoo.
Wow.
All right. Can Benita see hers again? She missed it.
Uh-huh.
So these are actually portraits.
They had to do our own in the beach. Wow, that's amazing. Please, can we come together again? I think they said they need one more professional picture. Thank you so much. I mean, the session was so enlightening. It was amazing. Please, can you put your hands together one more time? Thank you so much. Such a privilege to be seated under this atmosphere and this great number of people. Thank you, Mama. We're super excited to have you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Mama.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So much.
Please, everybody, please do me a favor. Everybody, can you please take your phone out right now? And can you take a picture of yourself right here? Or take a picture of you and your friend that you just met right now. It might be a selfie or something good. I need to do my own right now with...
I was going to ask you.
Yeah, somebody's going to take us a picture right now so that we
Can I
can
get
post
my
it.
phone? But in the meantime, please engage. Have you told them why they should engage?
Yes, because I want you guys to take the picture. DJ, can you help me reduce it? Just a minute. Please, we want you to take the picture, and then we want, okay, you want us, oh my God. Yeah,
Just
so
like that.
take a picture and go straight to Instagram and post it straight. And also, you can go to Twitter. The handle on on X. Yeah, you already understand.
On
The
X.
handle on X is at CRESTCON _. So CREST CRESTCON _.
Yep.
Please, you need to engage. And I made to understand
I
that.
have to say they have to be creative about it. It's a
Great.
creative conference, right?
Okay.
And we actually have a cash prize for the most engaging content.
Yes, 100,000 naira
100,000 naira.
for the most no cap, the best engager. Like you're into engagement. I like
So I
that
want to
too.
see
I
all
like
the
that
Gen
too.
Z poses. You understand? Yeah.
So yeah, we need all the posts that we can get.
Yes,
I
please.
hope that our own will mean it so that we can
Yeah,
share
please
it.
post our own.
80,000, 20,000.
Why?
Ladies first. Okay.
Love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, did you enjoy that session?
Definitely.
Was it impactful for you? Please make some noise if you did. Thank you so much. We're moving straight ahead into our next session, and we are talking about something very, very important.
Okay, just before we get there, while we were having the conversation, we had the honors of having an amazing personality walk in. Is the SA of Art and Culture and Creative Economy to the President, this current administration. Ladies and gentlemen, I have His Excellency Ayo Ade Agbo. Can you please help me celebrate him? Can you please put your hands together for him? Yeah, I know now. Okay, because I'm looking that way. The way my eyes is... No, I need to give you His Excellency now. Sir,
Thank
good
you
to
so
see
much
you.
for
Thank you
being
so
here.
much. We're out of, I mean, a lot of great people right here.
When would they introduce you like this?
They used to do it online.
That's
Okay.
all right. Thank you so much for being here. We're very honored. I also spot Pamela in the building. Thank you so much for joining us.
Pamilary.
Yeah.
Oh, Pamilary has laughed so much that he's had to go and get some braces because he laughs a lot. Thomas Samuel, I see you, Ogechi. Hey, this is my brother. Dele, good to see you.
Yes,
Dele is...
Even Victor Wilson in the building as
yeah,
well.
and then, of course, she's coming up very soon. Very soon.
Talking
All right.
about coming up very soon, our next session is on mental health. It's a very deep one. Yes, I think that session deserves a round of applause.
Please.
Because this 2024, mental health collectively as a nation and individually, I don't know, man.
I had a lot of things to say until I introduced, the essay to the president. Yeah, so I
it's
don't want.
true.
Yeah, so
we
that.
should, okay, thank you for that.
mean,
I was about to say some things.
This year has been super amazing. I'm like,
Beautiful.
how did we get here?
Beautiful.
I mean, when I was growing up, I didn't know anything about. The only things we knew was
You get.
national anthem,
You get.
maybe national theater. Recently, the most popular thing is the national grid. I'm like, what's going on?
Which is doing so well.
I'm telling you.
It's always
I mean,
elevating every day.
no. I mean,
you know?
it's in a good way, sir.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on. We have an amazing speaker, no other than Dr. Bonjubola Abiri, who is going to be speaking on mental wellness in the creative space. Please make some noise for her as she comes on stage. She is a renowned psychiatrist and mental wellness advocate. She's serving as the CEO of Ready Med Consulting Services. She is dedicated to increasing mental health awareness, especially within the creative industry. Thank you.
Hello? Hello? Is this it? All right. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you all today. I feel very honored to be speaking to you about a topic that I am extremely passionate about. This morning I'll be speaking to the topic. It's a keynote speech, so I'll be speaking to the topic, mental wellness in the creative space. I'd like to start off with a quote by Albert Einstein that says that creativity is seeing what others see and thinking what no one else ever thought. The year was 2019. A senior colleague, friend, brother, and mentor had reached out to speak to me on one of our very irregular calls. We used to check in on each other. And after our usual exchange of pleasantries and banter, he said to me, "Bonju, I'm so proud of you. You are doing so well. You are gracing stages, newspaper covers, TV and radio interviews. You are doing so well. But do you know that in 10 years' time, you may not be as prominent as you are right now? Younger people will come up. They will compete with you. They will take the stage. And if this is all that you'll be doing, then you may lose relevance. So please, have a plan, because no one stays on top forever." This had to be one of the realest reality checks I had ever had. I was, however, thankful for this conversation and thanked my mentor. I reassured him that I was putting in a lot of work to ensure that I didn't go into oblivion. 3 years ago, I managed a patient. celebrity by all standards, for substance dependence. He was struggling with his identity and the reality of losing relevance in a fast-paced economy and stage. As you know, the landscape in Nigeria for creatives is rapidly evolving. One day you are the star, the next day there's a new kid on the block. While I tried to help this young person understand that he had to innovate, move with the times, and understand that times of seeming relevance may soon dwindle, he screamed out loud, "No, Dr. Gwanju, don't say that. Don't compare me to anyone else. I will always be on top. I will always be relevant." Honestly speaking, no one stays on top forever. We are all creatives on our journeys to becoming, developing, and innovating. I remember being called a creative once when someone saw my innovative approaches to making mental health information accessible to all. I remember thinking that I wanted to see what else someone else didn't see, to make mental health attractive, seamless, and relatable to all. And so I introduced different means and methods, including an alter ego of mine that I call Anti-Ramo. A creative is described as one who has the ability to invent and develop original ideas, especially in the arts. It's about seeing things from a fresh perspective, solving problems in a new way, or drawing connections between seemingly unrelated things. A creative is energized and focused, playful yet disciplined, introverted and extroverted, proud and modest, masculine and feminine, conservative and rebellious. A creative is the one who says, "Am I in the box? Am I outside the box?" A creative is the one who actually says there is no box. Creativity has a lot of benefits to mental health and physical health, including that it improves your mood, sharpens your mind, it helps you fight depression, it relieves stress and anxiety, it helps you get active, can be used as a form of therapy. In mental health, we actually use art, music, dance therapy. Creativity enhances self-esteem, promotes mindfulness, and helps with emotional soothing and release. What is mental health? I'd like to do a small experiment here. You are in the room and you have mental health. Please raise up your hands. You are in the room and you have mental health. A little higher? Why didn't you raise it higher in the first time? And so the reason why most people look around, shy, and say, "Oh, I'm not sure, mental health, good or bad?" is because the first thing that comes to mind when you think mental is what? Yaba left, Arrow, the disheveled man or woman on the streets of Lagos or any major city in the world. But you see, the truth is that all of us have mental health. What we all don't have is what? Mental illness. However, all of us are on a journey between mental health and illness. And depending on what life throws at us, we may struggle with mental health issues. Mental health describes the successful performance of the mind. The mind is supposed to be able to help us think, imagine, create, feel, believe, and behave. And when we are mentally healthy, it means that we'll be able to have thriving relationships, cope with the normal stresses of life, contribute our quota to the environment we live in, and engage in productive activities. Creatives face a lot of challenges with their mental health, and this is because of immense deadlines and pressures. They manage expectations and work. Creatives struggle with self-doubt. They struggle with the imposter syndrome. They struggle with criticism from themselves and from others. Creatives fear failure. There's a lot of negative self-talk. I mean, cyberbullying. Is this your last hit? This your last hit was 20 years ago. It hurts. Creatives, of course, struggle with the inability to create, and so they can have what is known as a creative burnout. Creatives struggle with challenges with unpredictable income. There's a show today, there may not be a show in another God knows how many months. There's a lot of social media comparison. And then so there are the wars. Oh, which team is better than which team? Is it team this or team that? Comparing oneself to others, either by yourself or by your fans, can lead to feelings of inadequacy, isolation, and of course, it leads to loneliness. Creatives also live in this economy that we are all living in. Creatives are facing the shege that we are facing. And so whether it's shege Banza or shege Pro Max, creatives are also going through a lot. Creatives can be at risk of self-esteem issues, self-perception issues, anxiety, depression, and a lot of creatives these days are turning to substances of abuse, either to run away from pain or to run towards pleasure. Creatives also have problems sleeping because at night is probably when their brain wakes up the most. And so now that I have spoken about all the problems and issues and challenges and obstacles that creatives can face, how can you as a creative help yourself? I'll be sharing 10 steps to ensuring wellness for the creative. And the first step is, dear creative, know yourself. Self-awareness is key. God has entrusted you with yourself. You must also be able to regulate yourself and your emotions. You must learn what I call the key skills of care. C being communication, A, assertiveness, R, resilience, and E, emotional intelligence. Number 2, dear creative, innovate or die. I know it sounds harsh, but you can't remain in the same place and expect that the world will continue to give you the same respect day in, day out. Own your craft. Improve on yourself. Decide to be better every day. In the words of Ernest Hemingway, there's nothing noble about being superior to another man. True nobility comes from being superior to your own self. Number 3, to thine own self be true. That's a Shakespearean word. And man, woman, know thyself. Embrace imperfection. You will fail. And it is okay. It's okay to fail, but fail forward. I mean, ask Thomas Edison. Ask Disney. Thomas Edison said, I didn't fail 10,000 times. I have successfully found 10,000 ways that it would not work. Number 4, have a mentor. Have people in your circle that you are accountable to. Have people who can tell you the truth no matter what. Because it will be tough on some days and some people will not always smile with you. Number 5, make your mental health and wellness a priority. Prioritize self-care. Self-care is not selfish. If you keep saying, I will give the world what is left of me, if you are empty, you really won't be able to give the world anything. Ensure you eat healthy, you sleep sufficiently, and you get regular exercise. This one is difficult, but I would say it. Celebrate your wins. You know, there's this line in a song that I like very much. It says, Kenechuku, clap for yourself. Well done. You're a legend in the making, Malcolm. Celebrate your wins. No matter how small, celebrate your wins. Be proud of the work that you have done while you are on your way to doing bigger and better. I say to you today, I could actually kneel down and roll on this stage. Dear creative, please don't do drugs. Avoid substances of abuse. It's a difficult conversation to have because it looks like it is the norm rather than the exception. Yes, substances will make you feel high. Some people will say that, oh, it gives them inspiration. But trust me, your mind works better when you are not on Colos, when you are not on Ghana Loud or Canadian Loud. Keep your mind clear at all times. Learn healthy coping mechanisms. Talk to someone. Get material. Get information. Exercise. Listen to music. Do things that you enjoy. Number 8, I say to you, get healthy doses of vitamin R. Can anyone guess what vitamin R is? Rest, rest, and rest. Rest because it will help you refuel. It will help you recharge, and it will help you get rejuvenated. Think breaks. In the book, Deep Work by Cal Newport. It speaks about taking think breaks. Bill Gates does it. Carl Jung did it. Every once in a while, turn off your phone. Get away from the distractions of modern life. Recharge and refuel. Allow time for relaxation and rejuvenation. Number 9, learn how to use isolation and loneliness. Isolation and loneliness are not necessarily bad. Even in the good book, it was said that men took time away to recharge and refuel. Please learn how to set boundaries and learn how to say no. You don't have to say yes to every request. You don't have to say yes to every offer. And last but not the least, I encourage you today and every day to learn to ask for help. In this day and age, many of us feel like we have only arrived because we did it by ourselves. A lot of young people and young creatives want to own it and say that I did it by myself. Nobody helped me. I got here by myself. But to be honest, nobody gets anywhere by themselves. Learn to ask for help. Connect with fellow creatives, connect with mentors, or connect with a therapist. As I close, I'd like to remind you that mental wellness in the creative space is crucial for maintaining productivity, inspiration, and overall well-being. You must remember all times that prioritizing your mental wellness is essential for creativity, productivity at all times. I'd like to end with a quote by Professor Vikram Patel, that mental health is too important to be left to the professionals alone, and mental health is everybody's business. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time and attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Dr. Bonjubola Abiri. Thank you for that honor. Before you go, we need to say thank you. Please, everyone, say thank you. We love you. Is that real? Thank you so much. Let's just do pictures. Media crew, pictures. Thank you so much for that. Round of applause, please, for Dr. Bonjubola Abiri, talking about mental health. And it's now time to introduce our panelists. But I'm looking for my able co-host. Is he toasting someone in the crowd? He said, wow. Well, that's what men do anyways. Anyways, are you having a good time? Was that an impactful session for you? Because for me, I was just listening. I was jotting. I felt very seen. I felt very heard. I felt very understood. How many creatives here felt the same way? Show of hands. Was that a very helpful session? Did that make you feel like, oh, I'm not alone, right? And ginger to innovate, go back to that thinking box, create as well. That's what we are here to do. We also have our panelists that will be joining us. We have just 3 people in this panel session, but they are very, very impactful. I'm just going to go right ahead to introduce our panelists, but I'll be starting with our moderator. Okay. I'll be starting with our moderator, the delectable, award-winning TV, radio personality, host extraordinaire, Victory Wilson. Please, a round of applause for her as she comes on stage. She is someone that knows how to get answers. So you can be sure that you're going to get a very good conversation today. And she's going to be joined by Dr. Foy, Tochukwu McFoy, popularly known as Dr. Foy, a creative leader. He's the founder of Same Energy Global, revolutionizing African Christian entertainment. Formerly with Dentsu Nigeria and now with Viacom, he has led campaigns for major brands, produced popular shows. His impact extends to gospel music as well, and he represents artists like T.Y. Bello. Make some noise for Dr. Foy. Thank you so much. And he will be joined by a very prominent social media influencer and digital marketer. He is known for his trend-setting style and his public relation prowess, and for loving his wife very publicly as well.
Wow.
And peppering us. Oh, you heard that one? Because personally, I used to be peppered every Valentine's Day.
Okay.
But without losing focus, he began his career with Black House Media. He later worked on campaigns with Pepsi and with celebrities like Adekunle Gold. He is the founder of the Pamilari Foundation. He has provided over 55,000 sanitary pads to young women in Nigeria.
Wow.
He is the CEO of Camilal Capital, a digital marketing agency. He enjoys traveling. He's also a good-looking individual. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Pamilari Adegoke. Please make some noise.
And definitely anybody that made a name off X or Twitter, you know they are troublesome people. So he's a professional troublesome man. Can you please appreciate Pamela?
That's
Awesome.
MC Relax. He's the one that said that one.
Yeah. He knows now. You cannot be popular on X without having a bit
A
of.
little bit of.
Exactly.
I didn't say anything, but
Yeah, he knows.
Victory Wilson, over to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amanda and Relax. Please, a round of applause for our hosts one more time. And this room is so cold. What's happening? Do we have creatives in the building?
Sorry, Victory.
All right.
I just realized that we are also going to be joined by Dr. Bonjubola Abiri. She has decided to grace us again. So please welcome her back on stage to join the panel session. Dr. Bonjubola Abiri. Thank you so much, ma.
Thank you. All right, this is for creatives. I want us to do something very quickly. The room is cold, and this is a very important aspect of our lives. And I know that some people did not receive hugs this morning. So look to your right and to your left and tell your neighbor, dear creative, you're valued.
You're valued. You're valued.
Dear creative, you are amazing.
You're amazing.
Dear creative, you put in the work. Dear creative, you deserve all the love in the world. So now, regardless of the gender, I want you to give the next creative sitting right next to you a very big hug. Like that hug must be big. Okay. Hug. Beautiful. You see that so many people needed that hug. A round of applause for yourselves. That was great. Okay. I love that we have Dr. here. You spoke earlier about mental health, and we cannot talk about creativity without talking about our mental health. Creatives do a very thankless job. I mean, but for awards that we receive, time and time again, you just find yourself giving, pouring into people receiving from you, and sometimes you're burnt out, and you don't even get thank you. Instead, criticisms and all of that, rejection. So we're focusing on navigating rejection, criticism, and imposter syndrome. And I'm happy that we have a mix of people that can dive into this thing and give me the answers that we need, and we'll see how to navigate that. So Dr. Foy, Pamilari, and Dr. So it's okay for me to say doctor. Dr. G, fantastic. All right, Dr. Foy, let's start with you. All right. We're talking about imposter syndrome. I'm not going to go into all of the mental health, illness, and all of that because she's done justice to that. Let's start with imposter syndrome. And we know that imposter syndrome is sometimes doubting yourself, your achievements, when you're doing well. I mean, creatives go through that a lot. When they're like, superstar, I'm not a star, Jeff, I'm just there. There's nothing wrong. So, have you ever experienced that? Do you experience that? How do you navigate that phase? What do you do to get yourself back on track? Doubting yourself, doubting your abilities, your capabilities, and what you're capable of giving to the world.
I think everybody experiences imposter syndrome. Everybody. And I'll give an example. In 2014, I was the head of content for MTV. Then it was kind of big TV. And I led the campaign for the band. The band used to do something called lip sync battle with a lady called Peltusi in South Africa. So I've done a lot of work behind the scenes. And I remember that season of, he was the guy. Like when he comes, Africa Michael Jackson, he would do like this, everything. And 4 years ago, 3 years ago, there's a business meeting, I'm in a co-hotel, and there are younger artists that are way younger than him, and they're asking him to open for them. And right there and there, I said, the same feeling can happen to me. Why? For example, I grew up in the days where we do designs on PowerPoint and all that, and now there's AI, there's tech. There are better creatives than me. There are better guys who can churn out work. So everybody, I go through imposter syndrome. At some point, I'm working with T.Y. Bello. She feels, you know T.Y.? Incredible. And then she's checking her images, and people are using Midjourney AI, and she's like, Foy, am I still the one? But I think the way to solve imposter syndrome is not to deny it. It's to own it.
Yeah.
It's to love it. It's to tell it, my brother, dear imposter, I'm going to be the best this season. It's to use it to spoil you. Once you deny it, you bring in wrong energy. But once you own it, so imposter syndrome is not a bad thing. It's a reality. It is a reality because there'll be more technology. There'll be more. So if you deny it, it's going to bring the worst out of you. But if you own it, if you understand it, it's a good friend to have. Thank you.
Fantastic. Please, a round of applause for that. Okay, so now the next person I'm going to is Pamela. You're in the best position to answer this question. I remember I had you as a guest, I don't know if you remember, on my Instagram Live during COVID, when we were doing Instagram Lives, and my questions were just focused on so many questions people had for you. You were trending on Twitter.
Yeah.
You know, you faced a lot of criticism. People were calling you this, calling you that, and you had to answer a lot of questions, right? And I've seen you grow over the years. I mean, that was in 2020, and now this is 2024, and you've grown past that Pamela. And I know that resilience have helped you come this far. I also know that you put in the work with personal growth, and you have a way to manage criticism. Not everyone has that tough skin. So you tell us if you have the tough skin or there's something you do. So let's go into how you stay resilient, how you've navigated your personal growth to becoming who you are now. I mean, being the CEO of Camille Capital, and how you manage criticism and rumors. Yes.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So for me, I think I realized that no matter what people will talk, it's either it's true or not. You can't actually stop people from talking. You think you are the best thing after jollof rice. Trust me, people have issues for the fact that you are the best thing after jollof rice. You think everybody loves you. You see someone you look up to and you can die for, and people are abusing this person online. You're like, what is going on? So anybody, no matter how big, how small, how you think everybody loves this person, you'll be so shocked that you shall see some random accounts saying terrible things about them. Like, is this not the same person we all love? It will be surprising how the person the entire world loves, and the next thing, everybody is going against the person. Sometimes, I know some people that wants to they look up to Didi at some point. Now, you will never see them talk about Didi anymore. That's what happens. So the moment you realize that no matter how good you are, people will talk. No matter how bad you are, there are people that love you for being bad. So the moment you realize that you cannot be too good for everyone and people will always talk, the better for you. So the better you start living your life for yourself. Let them talk today. See, I tell people one thing. People will talk. When it's too much for you, drop your phone. Go and sleep. Come back in 12 hours. Trust me, they're dragging someone else. They've forgotten about you for that moment. They may remind you again after 3 months to repeat the same thing. Let it be cycle. So for me, they drag me every year. I'm so used to it. when it comes, like, so if you don't drag me, I see it as a problem. You've not dragged me in 2 months.
Wow, you enjoy
What
it.
is going on? Yeah, because it's normal. The moment you see it as, let them talk, they will always talk. Trust me, you'll be fine.
Okay, great. What you just said now would lead me to my next question. You said you enjoy it. Does it have any effect? You said it's numbers. So does it have any financial effect for you? Why do you enjoy it? Why are you always looking forward to the dragging?
I enjoy it. I just said I'm used to it.
Okay.
Because they will always talk regardless.
Yeah.
So why try to debunk this, debunk that? And at the end of the day, they're talking about you, Abby. So someone, there's a quote that says, oh, by the way, look at you. The moment they don't talk about you anymore, then there's a problem. People will always talk. The moment they are talking about you, that means you are relevant. That means you are in vogue. So allow them to do it. Let them do the publicity for you. Let them talk on your behalf. And you just sit down and chill.
But do you ever break down?
Maybe at first, I'll be very honest.
Maybe at first. Have you ever broken down?
Yes, I've cried though.
Because you're sounding like you're not a human being.
No, I've cried.
You've cried?
At some point, I felt like...
When was the last time you cried?
About people dragging me. Maybe
Yeah.
like 2018, 2019.
Wow, you built tough skin.
Yeah, so we'll move past that.
Fantastic, fantastic. Dr. Foy, have you experienced anything that made you cry online? Have they dragged you?
Not really. No, and they won't drive me in Jesus' name. I don't want your problem, my brother.
It's ex-people that always get dragged.
I don't want your problem. But I'll say that the world we are in, it's called an open court. Before you are even judged innocent, you are dragged. I think that some people have the skin for it. I think that it's good business. But the problem is that most times, those who are dragged that are not guilty of the drag, it's not funny.
Yeah.
It's not funny. I'm on X at me. I'm on X. I don't want to be dragged. That place has a spirit. Because somebody in Mushin that has only one follower.
Okay. So I want to ask Pamela quickly. You've confirmed that you cried in 2018. So I want to know how you got over that. Because people are listening. Some people are just getting to that phase of crying when being dragged. And this criticism thing, it may not be online. It might just be amongst your friends. You created something and you're not getting the support that you looked forward to getting from your friends. Instead, they give you a negative feedback and you feel so bad as an emotional creative that you are. So how did you get past that? And how would you advise creatives to get over that dark season?
So I know some people don't like sharing their bad moments with people. And I know there's something about Nigerians who don't like seeing therapists. I saw a therapist. So I had conversations over time. I had lessons. I had seasons. I was going to classes. Even when it was very inconvenient. And I grew from someone that doesn't like to talk to someone. Because I always tell people that I can be in front of you. You can ask me 100 questions. It's what I want to tell you, I'll tell you. But at that point in time, I had to, see my whole body. This is it. Good. So I had to open up to someone, and I had to trust one person, and that was what helped me.
Good. I like that you said you went for therapy. A round of applause for him, please. Because Nigerians, they don't really buy into therapy. I mean, I host and produce the Victory Wilson Show, bringing therapy to people because people find it hard to go for therapy. That's where Doctor comes in. So, Doctor, being that you have creatives all around you and you're focused on helping creatives live a well-balanced life and maintaining a healthy mental health, let's talk about balancing roles, expectations. Creatives, most times they're always anxious. What do I need to post? I need to post now. I need to do this now. I need to create this. I need to evolve. You see other people, your peers, they're doing something and you feel like your life is stagnant. How would you advise them to help balance those expectations, anxiety, and, just live a healthy life mentally?
All right, thank you. I think that my first response to that question would be, to thyself be true. What is your why? Is your why for the applause? Is your why for people to love you? Is your why because you want to genuinely make an impact? And I think that when people start to live beyond themselves, so when you have a course that is set beyond yourself as a human being, then you are living life. But the honest truth is that in this day and age, people just want to, again, a lot of people in this day and age are satisfied largely by what we call the id, the pleasure principle. What is in it now? What can I get now? What are the rewards now? We're now people. So we're not people who are waiting for, a lot of us can delay gratification. And so I think that when young people and young creatives or even older creatives can go back to ask themselves, what is my motive? What is my why? Why am I doing this? Is it for the short term or is it for the long term? I think that will help a lot. It's not out of place to have anxieties. I mean, stress. And I was listening to him talk and you were saying you got dragged on Twitter. I remember getting dragged by a patient. And the patient just looked at me one day and said, "Doctor, do you know that you're very incompetent?" Yeah. And it hurt. But I also knew that that person was speaking from a place of pain. And that person needed help. So understanding that you can't, the only person that you're in control of is yourself. You can't control over God knows how many millions of people hiding behind, most times, very cheap phones and cracked screens. Who are saying very negative things to you.
With 100 gigabytes.
Yes, and waiting till the data expires. So we also need to realize that we live in a world that is full of hurt and pain. And a lot of people are looking for people to unleash it to. I mean, when he was speaking, I thought about the fact that the good book tells you that when Jesus walked into Galilee, if I'm right, they said, "Hosanna, Hosanna." A few days later, it was the same people that said, "Crucify him." Nobody loves you forever. People will just love you for a season and for a while. And when the spotlight and the attention moves, they move somewhere else. So what does that mean for creatives? Love yourself. Self-love is the best love. If you don't have it, you can't give it. You need to be self-assured. You need to, look at yourself and tell yourself, it's not about the applause of the world. It's about the fact that I know myself, I own my craft, and I'm able to continually do the best. Of course, we would always talk about, paying attention to your physical health, your mental health, but my conversation always goes back to the identity. Who are you? What are you here for? Why do you do the things you do? Do you love yourself? Are you kind to yourself? Are you compassionate to yourself? And how can you show yourself kindness as I round up? You should be kind with the thoughts that you have about yourself. If your own thoughts are negative, why should anybody like you? You should be kind with your talk to yourself, regardless of what is going on around you. And most importantly, be kind with your behavior, including the kind of people that you surround yourself with and the kind of activities that you lend yourself to.
Beautiful. Thank you. Are we following? Creatives, are we following? Okay, we're about to wrap this up because we've said pretty much everything. And because of time, I like the way we summed everything up. So now to you and Dr. Foyd, Pamilari. So I want you to give us your final words as regards handling rejection. We've talked about criticism. So just your final words on handling rejection.
I think rejection is not a bad thing. Because, for example, I'm a doctor. I read medicine in school. I practiced as a doctor. And for a long time, my parents were like, "Guy, this is not what..." I'll go for a meeting. I was doing well. And my dad would say, "Have you met my son, Dr. Foy?" I'm like, "I've not practiced in years." I think rejection is only as much as you give it. Yeah. People might not understand you. People might not understand you. People might not fully grasp what you're about. But if every time there's an emotional charge to how people respond to you. Now, let me give an example. A definition is a handle you give people. You can say Foy has a Christian music label with Sunny music. That's just one of my definitions. I also did a fantastic event in Africa. But if people's definitions of you limit you, come on. So you have to have your identity. That's one. Number two, I've worked with a lot of creatives, the best Nigeria and the world. Listen, guys. Emma stays in my street. He says, tomorrow will come. It's a law of life. There was a time where Emma was the guy. He's still the guy to me. I don't care about these new people. But the truth is that, see, Emma is rapping with Nas Boy. Yes. In 2-3 years ago, would that happen?
Never.
Let's be real.
Never.
So if you can't adapt, when they reject you, take it. If you can adapt, when they what? So you have to understand that tomorrow will come. Tomorrow will come means that a new era will come. If you can submit yourself to the era, or understand how to enjoy and move with the era, anything you see, you get.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. That was even speaking to me. Do not let people's opinion of you define who you are, and know yourself. It takes you a long way. All right, Pamela.
So I will just add to what he said, and I will tell you that getting a no is normal. Trust me, it's normal. Now, and what you will not stop doing is keep trying. By the time you try, before you get to 100, trust me, you get a yes. And one thing you should realize that if he says no to me today, it won't be written on my forehead. If he says no tomorrow, nobody will know. If you say no next tomorrow, nobody will know. Keep trying. Where you now fuck up is where you now give up. You get? So continue trying till you get that yes. And trust me, collect no today, cry. Collect tomorrow, cry. When you get your yes, you'll be happy. They will say there's a clinical at the end of the tunnel. Maybe not in Nigeria, but try. But try. Because, so the moment you keep trying, as long as you don't give up and fuck yourself up, you're good to go. Just keep trying.
Like it goes without saying, now we'll give up. Now we'll give up. So please do not give up. Thank you very much. Please, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for our panelists again. Now we're going to do the affirmation again. Look to your right or left or your neighbor. Dear neighbor, dear creative, your mental health is your true wealth. Your mental health matters more than any external validation. Dear creative, you are valued, and I love you. Say I love you like you mean it now. Look. And give that neighbor a very big hug. Hug again, hug again, hug again. Thank you so much. We're going to wrap up with our hugs too now. Good. Thank you.
Wow. Since we're all in.
Thank you. My name once again is Victory Wilson. Thank you. A round of applause for us. Thank you.
Are we done the pictures? No, so just wait.
All
We're
right,
having
thank
pictures.
you.
You can come. Please enjoy it. Can you please put your hands together for them? Please.
Thank you so much to our wonderful speakers, panelists, and moderators. Let's join, yes.
This is an fraction, so I need to.
So that when we do.
Before they start comparing dollar to pounds. All right, thank you. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. One more time, can we celebrate them? Can you put your hands together for them?
Foy.
Wow, amazing. Please, Pamela,
yes,
look to your right. Look to your right. Yes. That's
Victory.
You. Dr. Foy.
We have
wow.
something for you as well. Dr. Foy.
Can you hear me say, aww? Wow. Dr. Foy, yours is fine. I can't say the same for Pamela.
Very dope, actually.
Please, can you show me Pamela's own again? Why is he crying? Don't worry, it's fine, it's fine.
So we're going to send it to you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Oh my God. This is amazing. Good to see super amazing people join us. I know we need to rush straight to the next agenda, but I can see amazing people, friends that I've not seen in a while. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him as our superstar, internet sensation, content creator, producer. You know, when you're introducing some people, that's when they will be very busy. So that you know that he's actually a very close friend of mine before he stopped being close.
What do you do?
Because he loves women too much, and I had to distance myself from him. So this is a warning. If he greets you or he's laughing too much close to you, just take your picture and go. Ladies and gentlemen, MC Lively. Can you help me celebrate him? No, I'm not bringing it. I'm just celebrating
We're just
you.
celebrating you, sir.
I'm just celebrating you.
Unless you want to tell us a little bit about mental
No,
health.
just leave him.
No, we
Mental health, okay.
should- That's what we just spoke about.
Lively. Lively does not have any correlation with mental health.
What do you mean?
His health is mental. Ladies and gentlemen in the house, this is an amazing person. I have a lot of beef for a lot of people here today. This person, is like the backbone of everything. TikTok in Nigeria, Africa. I mean, she's helped a lot of young creative find their voice, find their place in the whole industry. And I remember a time where she reached out to me to say, relax, what is your plan for TikTok? I actually thought at the time that I would start earning. That's the last time she replied my message. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Tenny in the building. Can you help me celebrate her? Thank you so much.
You look so beautiful. You didn't tell her that.
She always looks beautiful.
Oh, so it's a
Every day
standard.
looks like a birthday. I'm
Every
telling
single
you.
day.
They are the kind of people that when they want to go out every day, they do photo shoots every day. I'm telling you.
And that's on period.
You will not believe another person I want to introduce.
All right,
Amanda.
tell me.
This is the only person that I don't know how she thinks. I don't know where she
She's
thinks
super
from.
creative.
I don't know.
Super ingenious.
I don't
super
know.
funny.
She say, okay, you
Effortlessly beautiful.
people that are in the diaspora, you should come and use your blood
Come.
to wash Nigeria.
I'm
Ladies
telling
and
you.
gentlemen, internet superstar, the world global superstar, exporting from Nigeria to the world. Can you please help me celebrate our very own Awa?
Awa in the building! Make some noise! Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Okay.
I feel like we should actually have a skit in this place. We have, we have a lot of people here. Yes, right? Who wants to feature in it? See, you already have people, and then Tenny will help the team blow up on TikTok and everywhere.
Yeah,
else
Teddy
as
will
well.
push everything. I mean,
Push it.
it's just that Lively does not have his costume here. We need to
He's
get him.
looking a bit fresh, a bit too fresh.
He's looking too fine. If you talk like this, we won't laugh. We see your white shirt. Okay.
All right, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are an amazing crowd. A round of applause for yourself. I'm sure you enjoyed the mental health session, right?
Yes.
It was spot on. And I saw that you guys were hugging each other. Was that female to female or? I hope it ended very platonic. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I can see everybody's kind of quiet. Do you notice?
Yeah, because, 2 hugs in a lifetime can save a soul.
Aww.
So it's just that we
Do
also...
you need a hug?
No, I don't want Chelsea to kill me after the event.
All right, so we're going to move right next to our next session. And the theme is...
The theme of the next session is building bridges between creatives, private sector, and government.
Yeah.
For a while, we've always wondered, why is the government not investing? The creative industry is big. We're making a lot of money. Why are they not involving themselves? That's why we need to do this. And I love the person.
Yes, so we
Okay.
have a very able man to actually speak on this, and he's no other than a visionary leader, a communications expert with over a decade of experience at the intersection of photography, journalism, and politics. He's an award-winning photographer. He's a published author. He has made significant impact in Nigeria's media space, earning the title The Fixer for his dedication to national development.
Wow.
He has served as a special assistant and personal photographer to the Speaker of the Ninth House of Representatives. He's now the special assistant to the president on art, culture, and the creative economy. He promotes the cultural heritage, he fosters innovation, and leverages the creative industry for national growth. Before my saliva finish, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Ayo Adeagbo.
Ayo Adeagbo, ladies and gentlemen.
Make some noise.
Please put your hands
Keep
together.
clapping, keep clapping.
This man speaks with President Tinubu every other day.
Yes,
So if you have any message for amiable president.
dear president.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. It's giving church. Let me come to this corner back. You guys were talking about mental health, dragging and all, and you didn't put a political person on that platform. Come and ask us about dragging every now and then, from them Lively and Co and everybody. All right. Yeah, I'm so happy to be here today. I feel so at home because I feel like I'm talking to my people, as a creative. So I'm talking to you as a creative. Forget my governmental portfolio and all. Let me go straight to my speech. We like reading speeches a lot where I come from. Distinguished guests, respected colleagues, esteemed creatives, members of the press, representatives of the private sector, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I greet you specially. I saw them dragging you to last week. Most of them shouting, yeah, they're part of them all. I am delighted and honored to be here with you today at the Creative Economic Summit 2024. I extend my heartfelt appreciation to the organizers and those who have contributed to make this event a resounding success. I count it a privilege to address you all on a topic which I believe is crucial to the future of Nigeria's creative economy, building bridges between creatives, private sector, and the government. Our gathering today couldn't have happened at a better time than this particular moment. We gather at a time in our nation's journey where the potential of Nigeria's creative economy has reached its height, capturing global attention, enhancing our reputation, and driving economic growth. We see most of the time when we travel out, when you get to your immigration control, most of it, they'll tell you, oh, what country are you from? And you say, let's say you say Nigeria. The next thing is, baby, calm down. Or they say, oh, Wizkid? Davido? Most of the time, they don't even know the political guys there. They don't know your president. So creatives are actually very important. Whenever I have the chance to speak about the creative industry, I always make it a point of call to highlight how much of an ambassadorial position our creatives hold for the nation. Your craft and the excellence of your craft speaks louder than you could ever imagine. Foreigners think about you in reference to your country much more than they think about the leaders in government. Our creative sector is a mirror of Nigeria itself, from Nollywood films to our music, visual art, fashion, photography, literature, digital media. The Nigerian creative industry is not just an economy, it is a movement. It is a testament to our cultural richness and essential pillar of our identity. The creative awakening of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is in an era that cannot be overlooked. This is particularly true as one of the first initiatives of this present administration, now I'm talking about politics, led by His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, was the novel creation of the Federal Ministry of Art, Culture, and the Creative Economy, now named Art, Culture, Tourism, and the Creative Economy. This shows how important we see the creative sector. Over the years in Nigeria, we've never had a ministry to cater for creatives in Nigeria. It's always been the Ministry of Information and Culture. But for now, we have a ministry, taking good care of creatives in Nigeria. This is a move I recognize to be a watershed moment for the nation's creative economy, the kind that always deserves to be applauded. It was and is still a bold statement on how the government not only sees the impact that creatives bring to the table, but also seeks to support your craft by every other means. This support includes policy intervention, funding support, active collaboration, infrastructure projects, skill development, and capacity building. Yet, we know there is much more to be done, and we're ready to do it. So why we effectively support creatives by creating policies that promote intellectual property rights is the burden of accessing loans, funds through various initiatives like IDICE, CLAP, and facilitate a supportive environment for content production. We recognize that the most challenges require combined efforts, and this is where collaboration becomes key. The private sector holds the capital and market reach that can scale creative products and services, while the government has the power to create a supportive infrastructure and policy environment. When all three sectors, that is the creative sector, the private sector, and the government work together, we can achieve far greater outcome than any one of us could achieve alone. We must envision a creative ecosystem in Nigeria where the government facilitates, the private sector invests, and the creative sector inspires. Each of us bringing something unique to the table, uniting our strengths and covering our weaknesses to build an economy we would be proud of. This vision is possible. The process has already begun. Right here, we sit in a room made up of bridges built between creatives, the private sector, and the government. CREST 2024 is a testament of a shared dream made a reality because we all put our best foot forward by showing up, investing, facilitating the objectives of this remarkable event. In closing, my simple call to action will be to stakeholders in this room. Be open-minded in making intentional commitment to build bridges. Let's work together in harmony to establish Nigeria as a global powerhouse. The journey begins with you as a creative, business leader, government official, and none of us should be left behind in placing Nigeria at the forefront of creative excellence. Good morning. Thank you very much.
Wow. Amanda Dara.
Yes.
Can you imagine?
Yes.
Straight to the point. He didn't even
All
waste
right.
any time. Wow.
Thank you so much. Ladies and
Please,
gentlemen,
can
a
you
round
help me
of
put your hands
applause.
together for?
Ayo Adiabo. I have a giveaway for someone. Who is interested?
Honestly,
Okay.
she's
so
not
just
like.
3 people. One, she's the first person said me. How many times I meet? Eh? All right, 2, 3. Okay, so you don't have to stand. You don't have to come to stage. The giveaway is simply this. Can you tell us one thing that he said?
Just
Yeah,
one thing
just one
from what he
thing.
said.
Did you listen? So, do you still want to talk?
Please, where's the mic?
All right, please.
Okay.
Can we pass a mic to her?
Can you help me give? Yes.
All right.
Exactly.
You can start off with your name.
Who is that person that raised their hand? Where are you?
She's the first person. Okay, let's start with her.
Okay, let's
I've
go.
not heard her voice yet. Start with your name, please.
My name is Mabel.
Hi, Mabel. Everybody say hi, Mabel.
Just
All
like
right.
my therapy session. Okay.
Let us know.
All right. He said trying to develop the creative economy starts from we, the creatives. So we should start it by being creative.
Sir, did you say that?
Did you say that? You
So
don't
please
even hear what
repeat,
you said.
Repeat.
No,
yourself.
stay there because I know you want to create a content with our antenna.
Mabel, can
Stay.
you repeat yourself?
Okay. He said to make sure that the creative economy is productive, it has to start with the creative itself, which is us sitting here today to start being creative.
All right. Thank you so much, Mabel.
Did you say that? Fantastic. Man, where are you? Can you help me get a brand new,
Can you
never
pass the
been
mic,
used
please?
before Seco? This is Kotsi Seco, and it's Seco for you. Can you help me put your hands together for her and for Seco for giving
Okay,
her?
it's just one giveaway, right?
No, let me give one more person because right inside that is a key to a never been used before, brand new. You can see it, right? It's
Rolls
brand new.
Royce.
Yes.
So your car is outside.
It's a diary.
If you have faith, the Bible says what? Faith as small as a mustard seed.
I'll tell
So,
you.
yeah. Oh, you're not sure? Oh my God, they're surprised.
Uh-huh.
They're like,
So who's the second person? Quickly.
Yeah, who wanted? She
Let's
wanted
go.
to answer. Not anymore. Okay. Any other person? Let's try her. One thing that our speaker said. Start with your name, please.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Shimilore, and he talked about this is the first time there was a ministry for like the creative space, but like there was always like just for agriculture, but now like this is like the first time for the creatives basically. So yeah.
Okay, the first time for the creative.
Like the ministry and administration. Thank you. Yeah, an administration for like the creatives.
Whatever we give you, you are sharing it with that person. Oh.
Because
Okay.
wow. All right. Any other person?
Okay, thank you very much. Seco
Just
for
one
you.
more guy. Let's talk to a man over there.
Okay. Oh, we have a guy.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so I don't want to give the guy Seco. Can you get me the other one?
You can.
Yes, give me. Yo, you give her now. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's fine. That's the last person.
So I have it. Say something great. I have something really amazing for you. Trust me.
You will
So
like it too.
You can stand up.
I
And
remember
your name,
he
please?
mentioned. Okay, my name
I'm
is
glad that
Tobloba.
we have the same height.
Abimbola.
Your name is
Abdullah.
Debola. Hi, Debola.
Tobloba.
Where's everybody? Everybody should join me now. Hi, Debola.
So I
They don't
remember
like
he
you.
mentioned that the creative is the face of a country. He talks about how before the people that are outside the country recognize the government organization, that the people they first get to pick up are the creatives, which appears to be the face of that particular nation. He mentioned people like Davido and other
My
celebrities.
guy. I heard that one very well. He said when they go
He said a
outside,
lot. This is not what I want to give him.
It's
It's
inside.
inside, Abi. So I owe you something really lovely.
Please bring it out for
That
him
when you
now.
wear it, you will love yourself. Okay? Because you said a lot. Do you understand? So when you wear it, I want the United States and every other country to see you first before they see our country. Abi, now,
right.
isn't that what you said?
That's why he talks
But
about
why are you afraid to
whiskey and
say?
Davido. Sha.
Okay, that's
All
great.
right, thank you so much. That means that they're actually paying attention. So a
Yeah.
round of applause for yourselves. Thank you for paying attention. Trust me, this room is filled with a lot of impactful people, a lot of people that you should pay millions to see. So
Yes.
that we're bringing this to your forefront. Make some noise for CREST.
Please put your
Give
hands
it up for
together.
CREST
Light comedy.
2024. Thank you so much. So it's time for our panel session. The panel session is going to be about infrastructure for the creative industry.
Yeah.
And we have our moderator.
Okay, there's a way our moderator would like to come out. I hope the DJ, can you help me cue Ekweme? Because this is an emotional.
Okay.
Wait, just cue it. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a spiritual intercessor for singles in Lagos.
Yes, sir. That's
He's
right.
the one and only Honorable Boba Shelu. Ladies and gentlemen, he's been able to matchmake more than 12 singles to get married in this same Lagos state. Some from the gym, some from under the bridge, some on TikTok, some on... Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Isaac Odubeso Inter Brita and Super Saba. Let his song go up. Oh my God. It's coming directly from Shiloh. Oh my God. You can see any way you want to see this one. I'm sorry, I will shake you.
Fall under the anointing.
DJ, wait. This one is a demonic anointing. So good to see you. Thank you so much. He's our moderator.
Please, you
So,
can have yours.
just in case you are single and you're trusting God that He has to be 2024, you're here to moderate that. All right, that's fantastic.
He's also the owner of Very Single Lagosians. It is one of the finest networking for single people in Lagos. So make sure you follow him on all his social media.
Yeah, in case you don't know what she just said, you know Uncle Lege? So he's the modernized version of Lege. So yeah, so you can put your hands together for him. Please put your hands together for him now.
And he's going to be joined by an amazing co-founder of the Fourth Canvas and Full Gap. They are platforms that empower freelancers and they elevate brand experiences. He is a 2023 recipient of the Future Awards Prize for Technology. He is a purpose-driven storyteller dedicated to helping underrepresented voices tell their stories and succeed. Please give it up for Victor Fatomi, who is joining the panel session. Thank you so much.
Funny thing is, I and Victor went to the same university.
That's why they'll start farms in.
No, we studied at Harvard.
What
no.
did you study?
Well, many. Harvard.
Eh?
If you like, don't believe. It's not my problem. You don't believe it.
It's true.
Baba, did
Earlier
we go
on
to Harvard or not?
wait. Relax. Earlier on, you said you went to another university.
That
Do
was,
you remember?
that was my secondary school. I did my secondary school in the
In
University of
University of
All. All. Yes, our secondary school is a university. Yes, that's how we roll it. So this Harvard, no, the Harvard is, I went for MBA, not like, do you understand?
In Harvard.
Wala leko raisi.
Relax. Who do we have? Who do we
Ladies
have
and
next?
gentlemen, coming on stage right now also is a friend of mine. Also went to the same. I'm telling you. He's the co-founder of Createng and the former founder of Our Cash Microfinance Bank. This is the man that has seen so many startups to a lot of billions and millions of dollars. Is a very wealthy personality. Is my friend, and I love him a lot. I think about last month, he just buried his dad. And then I'm glad that he is still alive. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Oladele Dada. Extremely troublesome and amazing
Please,
personality.
a round of applause.
Thank you so much.
And
Wallace, Oladele, smile now, smile now, smile.
I love the ovation. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And of course, last but not the least.
Do you have somebody there?
Oh, yes.
Okay, yeah, let's go.
We are joined by our honorable speaker, Ayo Adeagbo, as well, who will be joining the panel session. We want to hear more from you.
Please, like I said earlier, this is somebody that speaks to our very amazing president every other day. Do you understand? So you can write your questions, even the ones that go beyond creative. Do you understand? Like, I know you have things in your mind, like, what's going on?
Like what?
This is a good, like,
Please, God, please, I beg you in the name of God, don't ask, are you single? Okay, maybe you can ask Isaac. Only Isaac. Then the rest of them, no.
Okay, last but not the least, joining them. This panel would not be complete if we don't bring this amazing personality. You love her. I love her. She's a content creator, script writer, international sensation. Ladies and gentlemen, she is a lawyer and a doctor and a she's everything in one. Please, can you help me celebrate international sensation, Awa Lawal? A round of applause for Awa.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Wow. Can you see?
Woman amongst men.
Awa is the only female
woman amongst
amidst
men.
this masculine generation. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Mr. Isaac, please take it away.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Earlier on, I think it was the first panel session, I've heard them mention somebody as worshiper, and I was like, I must caution on this too, because I'm also a worshiper. My name is Isaac Odugbeson. I like to also be called Honorable Boba Shelu. It's very intentional because I help single people find love in Lagos. I run a dating community called Very Single Lagosians. And I also building a dating app that helps people connect people based on culinary choices. We have gotten 4 people married in this Lagos. So if you are single, I'm your guy. We're also hosting, we've hosted 18 events and housed over 7,000 people. We're also hosting a 3-day carnival in Lagos at Eco Atlantic this December. So even just by the virtue of me sitting here, you'll find your partner. In Jesus' name. All right. I want to say welcome. This is going to be an amazing session. I want to say happy birthday to Dr. Vivian. Please wait for them. Happy birthday. Thank you. And so I have great people here. I have Mr. Ayo Extreme. I was in Abuja when you launched your book, Bajamela. I was there. But I did not give me invites. I did not enter, but I was there. I also have my great friend, Oladele, founder of Our Cash, recently just exited. I also have my friend of 20 Minutes, Hour. Nice to meet you. And I have Mr. Victor. I am very elated for this particular summit because there's no better time for us to speak about creative economy than this. I mean, we're doing so much, and I promise you, the creative industry has the potential to become a catalyst for economic growth. I don't want to bore us with numbers, but the creative industry contributes to about 2.3% of the national GDP, and it's valued at $4.5 billion. Nollywood alone is valued at $600 million, and we produce about 2,005 movies annually. The fashion industry alone is about $4.5 billion. I mean, employment rates, we have 104 internet users in this country as of today, right? Employment rates, the creative industry has employed over 4.2 million people in the past year alone. We have a great testament to it. We have people like MC Lively in the house, our Victor, I Extreme, Dele, Waka Waka Doctor, nice to see you. Great people that are also employers of laborers, and they have done great stuff for the industry. So we're here to speak about what we need to move further. How many of us believe that infrastructure is needed? Can I see your hands if you believe that infrastructure is needed? Exactly. So we are here to ask tough questions and how we can, what infrastructure is needed and how what's the role of the public and private sector. Also, to understand how we can get inclusive infrastructure, because we can be carried away that Lagos is the hub of entertainment, but there are a lot of things going on in Oshogbo, in Meduguri. How do creatives have access to this infrastructure? So put your hands together for yourself, and if you have questions, just let us know. So I would be beginning with the first question for today, and I'm just going to dive straight into it. The way I will ask you this question, I'll call your name and ask question, because I know that you're one that can answer. I'm joined by astute professionals, guys. Please put your hands together for them once again. These are the people that can answer our questions. These questions are for me. I stayed up all night till 2 a.m. yesterday because of you, sir, Mr. Extreme. Because the first question is for you. Yeah, just joking. So yeah, the Nigerian creative industry as a whole, what do you think are the pressing infrastructure that's needed? And also how the pressing infrastructure and how we need to prioritize this infrastructure. So you can mention like 4 or 5 and say, this is the top of the list, and this is what is needed at this time to make significant impact. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good afternoon once again, everyone. I think I'll just close this. So I think, first of all, we have to understand and accept that Nigeria's creative ecosystem is actually like the biggest in Africa. We should understand that. And I'll be talking as a government official. For us, when we first came on board, we knew that we just needed to make a difference, you understand? And what we did was to initiate a program to have creative hubs all over Nigeria, in every state in Nigeria. I think that's one thing we lack in Nigeria. I feel if we have creative hubs in areas in Nigeria, in local governments in Nigeria, it would help a lot of creatives in developing themselves. So we're working on that already. Also, I'm just going to be going straight into what we've done. Also, as you could, I don't know if you've seen recently the upgrade on the National Theatre. The National Theatre is an infrastructure that every creative should tap from. MC Lively wants to do his show, he should be able to go there to do his show. Do you understand? We've upgraded that. You would see we're commissioning that very soon. And also in Nigeria, I think we should actually have, I don't know what they call this, this plug and play event centers where you really do not need to bring, for instance, for a program like this, you really do not need to bother about the sound, about the stage, you understand? So these are things I think we need in Nigeria. And one mistake we always make is we think the government should do it all. No, we can't do everything. And that's why we are committed in partnering with a lot of private sector guys to build things like this. So for us, we feel having creative hubs in Nigeria, improving the current infrastructures we have, the National Gallery, we're working on the National Gallery. I'm sure you would know that Nigeria doesn't really have a National Gallery, an actual gallery. But we're already working on that, having our own National Gallery. We're working on Abuja City for creatives too, where you come, you can shoot your movies, you can shoot whatever you want to do, and you get off. So those are the things we're working on and we've done so far.
All right, please put your hands together for him. I have various follow-up questions, but I would come back to you later. It's funny how you say that government and private sector should be involved drastically. Even just speaking about contribution to GDP, I mean, you go to some countries where you walk into the city, they earn up to $60 just to check a museum, and it then helps the community. I also have questions to talk about digital infrastructure, but I'll come back to you. Let me let you rest, please. I'll come back to you. All right, I would like to go to Victor right now. Nice to meet you again. Are you good? Do you want some water?
I'm good.
Okay. I would like you to speak about, in terms of what he just said now, in terms of the private sector, what are the roles you think that the private sector, can also contribute to this? How we can contribute for infrastructure, given to the creative industry. How are you next? Well, speak first.
Yeah, I think the first thing is for us to be a little less cynical, although we have justifiable reasons to be cynical of the government. We have very valid reasons, but if we are then fully cynical, we are unable to maximize the things that they are doing. So by leaving some benefit of the doubt, we are able to access some of the programs, because sometimes I also am aware that sometimes government programs, government launch some things and they don't even have enough good applications from the private sector or people offering to take it up. So I think some optimism, some opening of our arms, some preparation as well. So sometimes there are also private sector enterprises applying for something but not doing their due diligence in that sense. So I think if we can apply some more optimism and then get ready and then reach out as well. Sometimes also these guys are more accessible than it appears, because sometimes reaching government feels like something you have to know somebody before you can do it. But I'm sure that you can ask for his card and it would be accessible. Am I right? Yes, so I think that's...
The way Aya is looking at you, like, we'll open group chats just so that we can access you.
Yes, so getting ready and then being a little less cynical and opening our arms a little more to go to government partnerships.
Yeah. So for me, I'm just going to ask you one more question before I move. So I know that part. I know about the part of collaboration. And I think that word has been overflogged pretty much. Everybody talks about collaboration. There are like maybe 1,000 summits like this. We talk about it. I'm speaking about now, I want you to speak about actionable plans. So I'm saying this because if you are a beneficiary to the creative industry as a private sector, what are the things you are putting or you can put in place? You don't have to have been doing it. So you say, you know what, I can do this thing for people, for the people in my industry, to uplift people. So let me give you an example. If you have benefited from digital products, maybe you have a YouTube stuff that's going on well for you and you're doing great numbers. The difference between yourself and the student or person seated somewhere in their house or in Unilag is that they don't have adequate knowledge, sometimes funding, sometimes. So as a private sector, what's the thing you think that you can do to that?
I would take some inspiration from my own journey. What were the pivotal things that once I solved, I was able to move further ahead? And the first would be equipment. So some people, although I also know a photographer right now, one of the top photographers in the country, who made the most of his phone while he couldn't yet afford a camera. But that's an exception. That's an outlier story. A lot more people could probably become photographers if they had access to being able to get an equipment or get funding to get an equipment. So I would say funding specifically for equipment, laptops or cameras or whatever you need depending on what you are doing. And the next one would be, Lagos is already very overpopulated sometimes, but the truth is, because I'm someone like, I come from Akure. I schooled in Akure, yes, so it's not Harvard, by the way. Relax, I've busted our bubble. It's not Harvard we went to, it's FUTA. I busted it, but I'm sorry.
It's Harvard in FUTA.
Yeah, post-FUTA, there was the need to come to Lagos. And to be honest, when I eventually did come and was able to settle in Lagos, it meant a lot of difference, exposure-wise, meeting people-wise. But being able to come to Lagos is a huge gap of where to stay. Rent in Lagos to someone outside Lagos sounds insane. It does not make sense. And crossing that border is just incredibly difficult. So many people are stuck in quotes. Yeah. Outside, they could use being closer to events like this, being closer to orbs, because we don't have these things all over the place. So if I had a personal project to fund, to be honest, it would be some living orb, where you could have people staying for 6 months till they find their footing and go out there and do stuff.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Please put your hands together for him. I think Rent in Lagos should have his own summit, where we bring realtors, landlords, agents also. Yeah. I think the culture shock for me, and I have lived in Lagos all my life, moved to Abuja sometime, come back to Lagos. I see they call it culture shock. The rapid increase is crazy, but Ayo Extreme is here. I should send you my bill.
Rent is not creative sector.
It's creative. It
No,
makes me
it's not
great.
creative.
Yeah, it makes me
Focus on
great.
creative.
All right, I want to move to our right now. So for me, I want you to speak on the knowledge, level and knowledge gap in the role of private sector. And also we're talking, everybody's speaking about, I like what you said, getting hubs and all, but how many of us understand that what we are doing right now is not something that you can find in our curriculum? I don't think there's how to be a social media manager in any school. Maybe the closest we can get is marketing. And even the marketing that they teach is really outdated, right? Master classes are the ones that are helping out, doing stuff. I run a digital marketing agency. I studied computer science, and I promise you that none correlates. I had to learn by myself, self-study. So, for you, what are the things that you think that you can do in terms of your role? I'm a person that always is successful, social media influencer. Successful. Thanks so much. I should take a picture with you and buy land in your name. So what are the things that you can do in terms of knowledge gap? Because trust me, I think that your videos are even so amazing, and it's not even the norm. It's not you put in camera and talk. It's that you are talking here before you know you're behind the fridge. I'm like, I want to stay one place. Let's hear you. And it's so comical and it's interesting. So what are the things that you can do in terms of the role as a private sector to help this, help us. Help us.
Hi, guys. Thank you for having me. I think that, I don't know, does anyone here know Quinta? Yes, Quinta Brunson. So, yes, thank you. So, I'm going to use Quinta as an example because that's someone that I look up to, someone that I'm highly inspired by. She makes, it was on the news recently that she makes $400,000 per episode. Quinta started out as a writer for BuzzFeed, and I'm getting to the point of the private sector. When I started, I used to write for CREST TV. And even though I was employed by CREST, what CREST did for me was, not only did it teach me how to become a better storyteller, they also started giving me credit for my work, which meant that they didn't have to do that. CREST is not a government agency, it's privately owned. And they didn't have to give me credit, but they gave me credit. That put me out there, that put me on the map. And it's the same as Quinta. Quinta used to work at BuzzFeed, or at least that's what I know about her. And then she became a content creator, and then a writer, and then she had a YouTube series, and now she's on TV, and she's making all this money. And so I think that it's very important to, as a creative, to put your head down. Don't try to be like the bigger people. Don't be Mr. Lively is here. He has paid his dues. So I think it's really important for you to learn. Be open to learning. Be open to learning from these from the private sector. This man, I drag him all the time. We have beef, but sometimes you just have to stand up and do things for yourself. Yes, the government is supposed to help us. It's their job. But if the government is doing it, but maybe they are just not doing it from outside, I don't know. I've not seen any alert, but anyway, let's continue. But you have to get up and you have to push for yourself. You have to drive. You have to push yourself out there. Put yourself out there. Because if you don't put yourself out there, nobody's coming to your room to come and bring you outside. Nobody's not coming to your room to come and bring you outside. I is not going to come to your room, right? So for the private sector, I benefited heavily from that. And I think that that's how the gap can be closed. Be open to learning. Be open to interning. Be open to learning from these people. And it doesn't have to be from a big influencer or a big storyteller. Where you currently work, be open to learning from these people, because these are the people that are going to help you. And that's how I think the private sector has helped creatives and is still helping creatives. Thank you.
All right, let's put the hands together for her. Amazing insight. I also just want to say that also when we mention government, I know we feel like he's not the only person in government. It's not the only person.
It's the one who can do.
I also know that the job of the government is just to create an enabling environment, and quite frankly, I think that the major thing that we face is access to information that is relevant to people. I'm going to speak about some access to funding that I know in the creative industry that the government has put in place already, but we need to know practical steps to access those things. There's a $500 million loan accessible to creative 600, yeah. So there's accessible to $600 million loan to creative. It's called the CFI, creative. Another one. You're talking about another one. You see, there are a lot, but we need to know which one. How do we, practical steps, and what are we putting? Are we going to drop our car or land to get these loans? But yeah, we'll go to that. But I want to speak to Dele. Dele is my friend, guys. And I'm going to tell you why I say he's my friend. Because he's a successful tech entrepreneur that has existed at his company, did great stuff. Please put your hands together for, Dele, great guy, digital investments. I want to speak to you about digital investment. So I think one of the things that 2020 taught us is that digital products are useful. How many of us created content in 2020? How many of us became content creators after 2020? You didn't have a choice because you were home all day. And I myself started to be in front of a camera and say, guys, Alpha, we can do this. And then we started to understand the rudiments behind creating content and all. But Dele, tell us from the fintech angle, what is the role of digital investments, in the creative economy? What are the things that are necessary to know in that sector, so that we can know and, help us to do better?
Yeah, good afternoon, guys. Don't mind my television voice. So basically, when you talk about digital investment, I don't tend to look at putting infrastructure in place or so. For me, when I talk about digital investment, I talk about the people around me, the graphics guy, the UI UX guy, the front-end guy, basically what they do at full gap. Those are the guys that I feel that are my own assets. I do not need to come to an office to achieve whatever I want to achieve. Growing up for us, let me use Victor as a case study. We were together with the first set of guys who started graphics. Futa, three of us. Victor, it wasn't like a competition. Victor was very, very good with CorelDRAW. There is Sonny, who is Rela's friend, who is very, very good with Photoshop. I was very good with one very odd something, Fireworks. And people tend to look at us and want to basically learn. But then I think 2010, 2011, there was no hub, like Ayo said. There was no hub. There's no place to learn. So for me, I feel that my own digital assets are basically like people around me. One of our other complaints, what we basically do is to train people to learn tech skills. For those who follow me very well on Twitter, I used to post something and I say, you must learn tech skills by fire, by force. And one very good thing about it is, when you have these guys around you, even if you don't have an office, they will work, investments will come in. And from those guys working, you will be able to get an office to go to. You'll be able to go from 2, 3, 4, 5 staffs like we did to over 50 staffs in a very short period of time. And look at, let's use post-COVID as an example. During post-COVID, everybody thought we were going to lose our jobs. And that was where probably we got to know a lot of TikTokers. I never knew DJ Chicken was before. Until after that COVID time, you just sit at home, you see people on Clubhouse app saying interesting things, amazing things. And we left COVID, the world has not ended. So for me, I feel that my own digital assets are people around me. Thank you.
Let's put our hands together for him. Thank you so much. I'm back to you, Ayo. This is a very, very, very key topic for me, access to financial resources. Some of the things we just spoke about now. There are a bunch of things that we can do. And I want you to speak about practical steps. I know that the government is doing a lot. I know. I read about it. I see it. I know. But how do we get access? Because one of the things that has helped, we know that we're moving away from oil. I don't even think anybody can be in oil anymore to support the country. But yes, there's still that. But the creative industry can help out do a lot of things. From what we spoke about, museums to people to assets and all. What are the practical things we can do to get access? We don't want access. We want access now. Let's know that if there are funding opportunities, because if you pick 20 people here, empower them for the next, and when I mean we, I don't mean you in person, I mean the government, empower them for next year and say, for your digital product, you get $10,000 each. And then you put them through a school organized by maybe Dele and MC Live and say, okay, creative, blah, blah, blah. Let's teach you how to do this and do that. What can we do? MC Live is saying he doesn't want to do, we must do. Okay, you want to collect $10,000. So what are the practical steps and how can we collaborate and get these things?
All right, thank you very much. Funding is a very important talk in the creative sector because when you want to buy your camera, you're not going to go and say, oh, give me camera, I'll see you later, or you understand. And we know that funding is actually very important. One thing I always say is, due to the fact that it's the first time we have a ministry, do you understand, for this sector, definitely it's not been easy. We're laying the foundations and all. And for us, getting funding from the government, I always tell people, is actually the easiest thing to do. So we watch what you do. If an hour comes tomorrow and says, I need funding for it, we will not say because she abuses the president every day, every night, we won't give her the funding. We would give her because she's a citizen. Yes, now you always abuse my guy, don't worry.
Oh, that's not the one I'm arguing with.
Yeah, we'll give you if you come. Yeah.
We'll go together.
Yes.
Let's create
Thank
something.
God, we have witnesses
No,
here.
so
in case I come, I write letter. Dear
So one thing you should know, we have an open door policy. We are for everybody. We are for everybody. So anybody that comes up, you don't expect to send a proposal to a governmental institution and we check your portfolio or your profile and we're seeing nothing there. And you go back and say, oh, the government isn't doing anything. No. If you're a photographer, if you're a documentary photographer, and you send and you say, oh, I'm telling a story on Nigeria's culture, something, and we see what you're doing, and we say, okay, we actually can relate to this. This is actually for a good cause. Yes, we'll look for the funding for you. That's one thing my office has been doing. We're facilitating funding for a lot of people. But, the creative sector is also a funny sector. I told Awa there. Somebody will collect money. They won't tell you, Awa. They won't tell the rest.
I think it's very important that you ask those people to put that out there because we don't know these things.
So when we
don't
tell them
see
to put
these
it out there, they think it's for political reasons. I don't know if you understand. Why are they coming to us? You should ask them. There are people in your sector.
Me?
Yeah.
Have I seen money?
There are people in your sector. So let's be very practical. You want funding from the government. Even me, I want funding from the government. Now, it's not just the federal government alone. We keep forgetting that we have the state governments too.
Yeah.
But I see us holding just the federal government all the time. And one thing you should know that the state government is actually, they have that implementation powers more than us in Abuja. Abuja is for everybody, the whole Abuja, all policies and everything. But it's the states, Lagos state government supports creatives all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Every event, you see Lagos State Ministry of Tourism and Culture, you see Madam Toke Benson, you see Idris Aregbe, you see Dami Marshall, they support. Other states too should actually plug into this and support. But everybody wants to come to Abuja for support. And no problem, come to us where your dad is. We'll give you the support. Do you understand? We'll support you guys all the time. So it's just practical. Be very serious about whatever you're doing as a creative. Nobody, even the private sector, they're not going to give you money if they can't see value.
Yeah.
You don't expect some people doing content on, like, your own content, doing marriage. Are you really into that thing?
Yes, I am. Check. I'm very.
So yeah.